Hello everyone, welcome to the EMF class. In the last lecture you have seen we have derived the Maxwell's equations for the static fields. So this is the continuation of that previous lecture. Today we are going to discuss about the Maxwell's law for the time varying fields. Okay, and we will have four different types of Maxwell's equation as I have written just first law, second law, third law and fourth law as we have discussed in the previous Maxwell's law for the static fields. So here also it is derived from Faraday's law, it is derived from the Ampere circuit law, it is derived from the Gauss law for the electric fields as well as the magnetic fields. So today we are going to see all the Maxwell's equations which are derived from various laws for the time varying fields. Okay, so we will be starting with Maxwell's law derived from Faraday's law, derived from the Faraday's law, and today I am going to discuss further time varying fields. So for the static fields we have discussed in the previous lecture. So I am going to discuss for time varying fields. Okay, and as you know that in the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction for the time varying fields, we have given this equation where E dot dl, which is the voltage. Okay, so the electromotive force which is derived is equal to dou B by dou T dot ds, and this equation we have taken from the Faraday's law for the time varying fields. Faraday's law from the time varying fields which we have already discussed earlier and we have derived this one. Okay, and as I always telling you, whenever if you see this line integral, try to convert into the surface integral, okay, by using Stokes theorem. So here by using the Stokes theorem what I am doing is, so I am converting this line integral to the surface integral. So then that E bar dot dl will become curl of E with respect to the ds, curl of E with respect to the ds. Now I'm equating the same equation here, which is equal to dou B by dou T ds. Okay, and after equating this relation, simply cancel out these terms. It is as simple as possible and cancel out this integration, and finally you will be getting the equation as curl of E bar is equal to minus dou B by dou T. Okay, so this is the Maxwell's equation which we have derived for the Faraday's law for the time varying fields. Okay, for the time varying fields this is the equation, and we have also derived this Maxwell's law for the static fields. Okay, for the same for the Faraday's law where we got curl of E bar is equal to 0. Okay, so that is the difference you need to observe. So well, this is the Maxwell's first law for time varying fields. So remember for the time varying fields it is different and for the static fields it is different. And now I am taking the Maxwell's second law. Okay, so Maxwell's law, okay, which is derived from, this is the second one which is derived from the Ampere's circuit law. Okay, so Ampere's circuit law. Okay, now in the Ampere circuit law the basic equation which you all know is the basic equation which you all know is integration of h bar dot dl bar is equal to h bar dot dl is equal to I, h bar dot dl is equal to I, and this is derived from the Ampere's circuit law. Ampere's circuit law. Okay, and now in the same static fields how we have derived, so the same I can be given as integration of j bar dot ds. This is the same equation which I am writing, the same steps which I am writing which we have derived for the static fields. Okay, now after equating the equations 1 and 2, so if you see this is the equation 1 and if you see this is the equation 2, in both the equations we have the current, and after equating these equations I will be getting, so h dot dl bar is equal to integration of j bar ds. Okay, and again the same formula again we are using here, the Stokes theorem. Whenever you see the line integral, so try to convert into the surface integral. Okay, so then now what will we be getting, So integration of curl of E not a ds. Okay, so if I am converting this into the Stokes theorem, you will be getting this equation, and finally this equation is equal to integration of j bar dot ds. That's it. Now again, as simple as possible, try to cancel out this ds integration and integration, and on both the sides you will be getting the equation for the Maxwell's second law as curl of E bar is equal to j bar, and this is same exactly what you have done in the static fields also. So this is the Maxwell's second law. Okay, so this is the Maxwell's second law. So we'll be seeing for the time varying fields the Maxwell's equation for the Gauss law for the electric field. So Maxwell's law derived from Gauss law. Okay, this is Gauss law. I'm sorry, Gauss law for electric field. So always the Maxwell's third equation is for the Gauss law for the electric field, whereas the fourth equation is the Gauss law for static field. Okay, and as similar as well, I am taking the same equation which we have taken earlier also for the static fields. The Gauss law can be given as phi, which is always is equal to q. Okay, so the flux emerging outside is equal to the charge enclosed, and the equation for the Gauss law can be written as integration of d dot ds. Okay, and this q can be written as, if it is a volume integral, we can able to write it as rho v dv, Okay, now I am going to equate these two now. So see here, according to Gauss law, the electric flux which is coming out is equal to the charge which is enclosed within the surface. Okay, and Gauss law can be given as integration of d dot ds for a closed surface. And q, the charge, can also be given as integration of rho v dv if it is a volume charge distribution. We have charge distributions, various charge distributions like volume charge, surface charge, line charge, and the point charge. So if you are converting into this volume charge integration, you can able to get q is equal to integration of rho v dv, right? And from the divergence theorem, okay, so from the divergence theorem in the Gauss law, whenever you are using Gauss law, as I told you earlier in the Maxwell's equations for the static fields also, this should be converted into again volume integral, because on the right hand side what we have the volume charge distribution. So try to convert this left hand side into the also into the volume integral. Okay, and this can be derived from the divergence theorem. You can go back and check with the divergence theorem. This is the same thing which we can use in the Gauss law. Okay, and now again I'm equating the same thing to the right hand side, which we have rho v dv, right? So again, as simple as possible, try to cancel out this dv, cancel out this integration. You'll be getting the final equation as divergence of d is equal to rho v, right? So this is again the Maxwell's third equation. This is the Maxwell's third equation. Maxwell's third equation. Okay, and let us have the fourth equation as well. The fourth equation, as I said, this is also derived from the Maxwell's law, derived from Gauss law. This is derived from Gauss law, and this is to magnetic fields. This is for magnetic fields, right? So now, so in the magnetic fields, as I already told you, for magnetic fields, the surface integral of magnetic flux density over a closed surface is always zero. The same thing we have taken for the static fields whenever we are deriving the Maxwell's equation. The same step I have written. Okay, try to remember. This is a Maxwell's magnetic field equation, which is expressed in the integral form. Okay, so this is derived for the Gauss law, which is applied to the magnetic fields. And using divergence theorem, again and again I'm repeating, every time try to use the divergence theorem whenever you're using the Gauss law for the applications, in order to convert this surface integral to the volume integral. So how you'll be getting this equation? B dot ds can be given as divergence of B dv, Okay, so you need to remember this. Now even when I have converted to this form in the volume integral by using the divergence theorem, so this should be equal to 0. This should not be, go anywhere. So this is 0. Okay, and as I told you, if this equation is 0, either this could be equal to 0 or either this part could be equal to 0. Okay, and as we discussed in the static fields also, like always the volume, the surface, the line should not be equal to 0. It will have some specific value. So this one is not valid, only this will be a valid one, right? So how then, from this equation it is clear that this divergence of B is equal to 0. So here you need to understand either this could be 0 or either this could be 0, and always this differential volume, differential surface, differential length, so can't be equal to 0, right? So because we'll have a finite volume, a finite surface, right? So we should not be make it equal to 0. So this will become 0. So 0 into this, whatever it may be, you having the different value, it will become so 0. So now from this we got divergence of B is equal to 0. Okay, so this is the Maxwell's fourth equation. This is the Maxwell's fourth equation. You can say Maxwell's fourth law. Okay, so in the previous lecture we have seen Maxwell's law for static fields, and now in this video we have seen the Maxwell's law for the time varying fields. So these are the four Maxwell's law which we have derived from the Faraday's law. This is the equation which we got. This is from the Ampere circuit law. So this is the equation which we got from this. And in the Maxwell's law derived from the Gauss law for the electric field. And this is the equation which we got, divergence of T is equal to rho V. And finally the Maxwell's equation for Gauss law, especially for the magnetic fields. So here divergence of B is equal to 0. Okay, so try to see both the videos, then you can able to solve for the static fields as well as for the time varying fields, right? So thank you.